Wasn't really anticipating going live. I am as tired as I look. Um, so yeah, wow. Um, I went on my morning hike already, and I'm getting ready to do my second hike. I'm gonna leave in like maybe 20, 30 minutes, and I just thought I'd come on here and just have a quick discussion and talk about a few things because it's important. So let me just make my coffee here. I hope you all have been doing really well. I just want to remind everyone that you are certainly the most powerful, potent being in your life. You are. Not me, not the guy next door, not that female, not that dog, not the cat, not the fly. You. You are the most powerful being, and you always have been. So that's number one. So I want you to listen to everything I'm saying with those lens on. Okay? Anytime that you come watch any of my content, that's the point of view I want you to have. Time for some creamer. It's a beautiful day. If you didn't know, I'm in the mountains of Los Angeles. And it's so nice. It's wind outside, but it's also sunshine. And we didn't have the sun for 3 weeks. And it was really tough not having the sun. And when it finally did come out, I couldn't get enough of it. So I've been outside a lot over the past week. So if you are able to, try to get a little bit of sunlight, especially in the morning, as the sun is rising, and then also as the sun is going away. So you want to make sure you get some sunlight. It really helps a lot of that area of your brain where the hypothalamus, the pituitary gland, the pineal gland, all of those, your entire body benefits, but it actually helps that middle part of the brain when sunlight hits the photoreceptors in the back of your eyes, and it activates these special crystals, and we all have them, and they're called rhombohedrons, and they kind of rub against each other, and they help to communicate energy within ourselves, outside of ourselves, and beyond. So you're doing yourself a great favor overall. It's kind of like a download for all systems. And if you are drinking water and eating the right foods, it really is just a cherry on top. Even though for me, it's kind of the main meal. I need to have a lot of sun. So yeah, hey, practice makes perfect. I'm still drinking this, probably not the best stuff for you, creamer, put in my coffee. I'm a work in progress. And all right, so let me just make sure. Oh, shoot, I just realized I got peanut butter in my pants. All right. All right, so I was gonna go to Sunset Beach today. There was a gathering, and I didn't have the opportunity to go because the Uber would have been $160, and that's just so much. That's crazy, right? So I said, maybe next time. If I would have looked into it beforehand, I could have found a ride there and a ride back, and just $160 is a bit steep. But if I can give you $40, then maybe that might be better. I don't know. Let's go on downstairs to my laboratory office space of mine. Let me just pay attention to what I'm doing. So I wanted to talk about. I forgot I did this. I walked right into that. I am going to be braiding my hair again. You guys know me, you know that I braid my hair. I just organize the hair like that just to keep things nice and neat. And so let me just go ahead and put you right here for now. And I'll probably get a chair and put that there. But I really like my scenery to be super clean and nice. And I feel like it's not. Okay. Feel like it's not. So I apologize. Oh, nice. I apologize for that. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about awakenings because I think it's not discussed enough. All right. And what I mean by awakening is just that it's an awakening, it's an awareness, it's a checkpoint in your life where you're being called to question everything that you're doing. And a lot of us experience this, not just one time, but we experience it a number of times. A number of times. And there may be different themes that this plays into. You might have a theme of, medical or health related issues over a period of time. And then as you graduate out of that, because when you're in that process of awareness and that awakening, that is including healing your physical body. And so many of us who are on this journey have been slowly healing our physical bodies by utilizing all three factors of what we are. And so that is, you know, our physical being, our minds, and our spirits. So I can see all this gray hair. Oh my goodness, I'm looking so wise. Um, so one of the greatest things I think is the fact that we have the ability to communicate with each other, and each one teach one. Okay, each one teach one. And I think that if you've learned something, why not talk about it? Why not teach it? Because I want to learn about it. It's hard to find people who are talking about esoteric knowledge and information because it's very heavily guarded, it's protected. There are, of course, people who don't want everyone to know about it because then, they feel that there's a certain limit to what abundance can offer. And I'm not going to go too deep into that, but I'm going to say you are responsible for your personal wealth. You're responsible for your mental health and your mental wealth as well. And it's just a currency. So we have the ability to, just like electricity, is we can pass these currents. And I'm doing this through wind, through my voice, and the spark of fire that put the thought to come on here today. And I'm looking for my cup, and it's actually holding up the camera. So that's funny. So the thing is, this previous and this current awakening, I'm gonna, I don't want to share too much because it is personal, and I don't want to, make it about me necessarily. It's just an anecdote, and everybody has different experiences. But I wanna make a very important point for you. I'm getting like myself ready here to just kind of have a good conversation with you all. So, don't mind me. I'm just adjusting and readjusting. And I think that's good, right? So we could just move this over here and just kind of have like a little bit. It's a very like rugged military situation. But yeah, this is what we're doing today. So let's take this off. Put that there. Um, Everything is subjective in this world because we're not here without any of our senses. We all even if we have different advantages, and some of us have other issues going on. I'm hard of hearing. I lost a lot of my hearing a long time ago when I was a little girl. And, maybe one day I'll talk about that. But we all have our challenges. And I think those challenges, it helps you to expand other parts of your awareness and your consciousness. And what I mean by consciousness is like the awareness. It's more than just, I may have had faulty hearing, but maybe I could pay more attention to other things such as body language or how things, the scent or how things feel or even being more present. I believe that being hard of hearing has challenged me to do that. And I think we all need to be as subjective as possible in the things that we experience. And we don't really do that. We allow outside sources to dictate what we think and what we feel. And that includes the media, that includes educational, philosophical, political institutions. And I don't mean like actual places to go. I mean institutions such as the educational system, the media, even challenging some of the biggest, assumptions that we've had and we've been taught in our entire lives. If you think about some of these things, you start to realize that you have more questions than you realize. And the soul and the spirit is very aware when you are not in alignment. It hurts your soul and your spirit. And I'm not saying feelings hurt. I mean it's a disadvantage. And so those gut feelings that you get and those moments of dissonance where you're just like, "Oh my goodness," that's a part of your deep self trying to communicate with the person that's riding the car, that's driving the car. And it doesn't hurt to take a moment to say, why do I feel uneasy about this particular thing? Why do I feel uneasy about this person? And I'm going to be honest with you. As you get older, you start to trust your instincts and it starts to prove you correct over and over again until it gets to a point where you can sense certain things and you say, I'm not going to proceed with this person, place, or thing because this rings very familiar to X, Y, and Z. So I said all that to say that we got to make sure that we're like looking not only with our physical eyes, because the eyes only are going to allow you to see what the mind wants you to see, what you firmly believe in, right? Like I have this belief that I'm a strong woman and I've been through quite a bit and I'm very, I have integrity and I like to be on the square with people and be eye to eye. If I can't, then I just rather not communicate with you. I mean, I think out of respect, if I feel like we're not going to give each other respect, then why? If we can't come, and it's always that same situation for me in particular where I'm falling back and I'm saying, all right, I'm going to allow this person to be who they are because we all deserve to have that. But when it is not reciprocated and I still engage in it, then I've effectively voluntarily participated in a ritual. All right. Now, I don't want anyone to start getting, let's not get too far away from what I'm really saying here because there's a lot of different types of rituals out there. And if you want to go down that rabbit hole, that's up to you. But what I'm saying is, once I made a decision to not be a part of someone's ritual for energy harvesting, because that's all we're doing here on this planet. All of us, we're doing that. We're eating to get energy. We go out for walks to expend a certain kind of energy or exchange energy. We're breathing to get energy. It's energy harvesting. All right. We all are doing it. Right. But when you become a source and your emotions become sort of this bank where people can make these withdrawals to come to you and start something with you because they know that you're going to give them a little bit of something and they get something out of that. Well, you know what? Why are we allowing people to do that? Why are we allowing people to take our energy and take our attention where we could be doing our intended work, right? Because, like I said in the beginning, we all essentially are the center of creation. God is directing if you allow God to direct you. You are the center of creation. Who else is the center of creation outside of you? And if you're going to say somebody else, we need to have a conversation because it is you. Never see yourself as anything less than the absolute center of creation that you are, because you are. Every decision you make, whether you didn't want to make that decision or not, you still made that decision. And sometimes we get hurt. It's unfair because we get hurt when we're kids. There's things that happen to us that our innocence was taken away. There's people that go through these things, and there's women and men and animals and all kinds of injustice that happens every day. And when those things happen, it feels like we don't have control over ourselves and our destiny. And that's the great deception. That's the great deception. When you have become a part of someone's humiliation ritual and then you've already submitted to that person. It's happened to me. I worked in an industry and we'll leave the industry. Those who know me know. I was in that industry for 20 years. And this was an industry that was intended to help and heal other people. But that's not really the vibe all the time. Sometimes I was in those environments and I was part of humiliation rituals where people will take an assigned position Say you have interns that come in. They already know who's going to do what. So you make sure you test them on this. Make sure they're paying attention. Throw some extra needles on the table. Make sure they're counting correctly. All right, yeah, you be hard on them. And then I'll be the one that they come and talk to and I'll comfort them. They have these systems in place. They have been doing this for years. If you don't think that they're doing that, I would just look from that lens because every industry is the same thing. You have to be initiated into whatever profession and career that you're in. And it's getting better, but a lot of these old school professions that have been around and they're highly protected and guarded, and you need licensure and certifications to do it. They involve rituals. And it doesn't necessarily need to be what you think, where it's, gory, but some of those things can exist too. But I'm talking about where you're giving you come in with confidence and then they cut you up and they cut you down so that you can feel like you don't know what you're doing, so you defer to them. And then they create a problem so that you can seek a solution. And then that solution is the whole reason that that problem exists. That solution is going to protect the problem. This happens not only in certain industries, but this happens in society. This happens with the media. This happens with certain agencies that are here to protect us. They create and cloak issues so that they can market a solution. Do you understand? This is happening everywhere. Wherever, whatever you can mention can be traced to someone who is effectively creating a problem and a solution. Business 101. So with that being said, do you not see that you are the commodity? Right? Because if it wasn't for you buying in, these industries would not exist. Now, we have to, this is the world that we know. We can't make a change unless we fully know the world that we're engaged in and the architecture of it all. Right? But these industries, if you think about it, they have a lot of dark beginnings and a lot of dark roots. So always be well informed. I say do the knowledge. That's my favorite thing to say. And if you, I'm in the process of building my website, thevibeuniversity.com. I invite you to go there and sign up with your email. It's not up and running yet, but I got a few things on there. And I want this to be a platform that presents information in a non-biased way. So if you want to learn about certain industry, history, from the eyes of X, Y, and Z, and I want to have topics on there that people, and you know what, I'm not going to go into it, but there's things that people should know so that they can make a decision to support this or that without being called any names. And I see that a lot nowadays when people are trying to seek information and they have a differing perspective than someone else. Someone calls them stupid. Why is that? Maybe you should try to get to know the reason why this person believes that instead of attacking it like a religious zealot, right? There's some things that are very obvious in our face that we've been lied to our entire lives. Now, I wasn't really put here to be a whistleblower. I was put here to nurse the babies that just woke up, that don't know what's going on. Because there is no mother when it comes to awakening. Where is she? I'm not saying that there's not a spiritual higher power for you and what you choose. But where are the guides on this planet? Are they just arguing with other people about their position and their stance? I say that's a distraction. Why are we not nurturing the youth? And it's not an age thing. Youth in terms of awareness, you could be 70, 80, 90, 100 and be a newborn. Just waking up, just realizing what you snapped out of that slumber into. And it's a uncanny feeling when you realize certain things and you realize that maybe you've been taken advantage your whole life by society, right? Why would they lie? Why would society lie? Why would certain agencies lie? They're here to protect us, right? But if you think about it, I'm sure you know someone in real life, your friends, your family, your loved ones that betrayed you and they supposedly love you. So, what makes you think any of these people have a commitment to being true to you? That's your job. That's my job to do for me, right? And so that's what I feel like growing inside of me is knowledge, this knowledge that I'm not necessarily here to throw it in your face. Maybe I'll breadcrumb you on my TikTok because there's certain things that I know if I talk about on YouTube, it may not be received all that well. Even though I'm presenting it in a non biased way, which I believe all information should be presented as, so that you can take what you find valuable, run with it, and learn. So we have to be careful with how we communicate with each other and how we share this information and these findings. And I'm disappointed in the state of affairs of this world. We have children in this world that are not being protected. We're disrespecting each other based upon arguments created by other people who aren't even in the whole, they just create these fights. Man versus woman, woman versus woman, man versus man. And then we fall for it. Why do we do that? You ever think about that? Why do we go so hard for these agencies that could care less about us on an individual level? Agencies. Where's your agency? Because it seems like there's nobody home. But it's your responsibility as a creator, as a builder, as one who has been anointed, who has been shown the way. Because you've been told many times, this is not the first time you've heard that you are chosen. You've known this for a long time. But yet you won't take that step in the direction of verifying and confirming who you are, right? Because of social sanctions and traditions. What if I told you a lot of these social sanctions and traditions are recently designed? Recent, right? What would you say then? What would you say if you knew that there has been thousands upon thousands of years of knowledge that would definitively tell you who you are, what your existence means on this plane of existence, but you didn't know about it? The eyes will only see so much as the mind allows it to. And you can see more and more each and every day. The more you go into this process, learn about science, learn about history, learn about, I can't stand politics, but sometimes I need to understand it so I can understand what's going on around me. It's a system. All of these systems in place that are controlling our experience on this plane, all of them are worth exploring and knowing. Tell me why I didn't know that weather modification is widespread. I thought it was just HARP. I hope I don't get in trouble for saying this because I didn't know. I'm literally flabbergasted that the average business, which there exist thousands of atmospheric modification businesses that are currently altering and modifying our weather. How much of our weather is organic? That's my question. Go to my TikTok. I do weather report reviews over there because I find them and we look at it. We just say, what is this? It's concerning. There's more than just HARP. HARP is supposedly a facility that's owned by the government that's in Alaska that can deliver different forms of energetic manipulation for the weather. But there's more than that. I promise you. There's more than that. Around you, you've been around some modified weather. I can guarantee you that if you live in the United States. Why? I want to give a shout out. I know I'm a smaller channel, but there is we call him our earthquake watchdog, Dutchson, and he has a channel on YouTube, and I'll link him down below. I really think, honestly, are earthquakes the most, interesting topic? No, it's not. It's not. But I watched it, and he drops jewels during these reports and these observations. And I'm gonna tell you, this guy he knows a lot. Like, we're just getting a sliver of what his knowledge base is on earthquakes and weather. But this gentleman is very well versed, and I can imagine on many different subjects. So I just want to thank him for keeping watch and his team that helped with his channel. But this is really his channel is the reason why I started looking into weather modification. And I came across one of his videos that had a link, and I will leave that link down below as well, for the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, so the NOAA. This is an agency that is here to monitor and protect our atmosphere, our oceans, and our weather. Okay. And so this is the place where people have to go to file their reports to do weather modification. And it's a thing, and people do it, and people have been doing it. Now, I'm not saying this is like, I mean, it's been happening. So really, it's this is not a scare tactic, and it's not a conspiracy theory. This is an actual fact because I can show and prove, because I'm on my level. I can show and prove that this is what's actually happening. Okay. And I would like for you to be informed, whoever you are. This information is coming to you. I want you to look into it because I didn't know this was happening. And I just started, looking into this. I'm like, this isn't a conspiracy theory. This is actually happening. And then we have our disclosure that was done by, I think his name is Eric Hecker. He worked for Raytheon Technologies. He had a governmental contract and he was down in the South Pole. Apparently, they have huge weather modification weapons and all of this testing and stuff. And what's next? We're going to have like an alien invasion now. And then we're going to be scrambling around and we're going to run to the government for help. And they're going to be there with open arms because they knew that they were going to do this. And it's going to be easy for us to receive this information, because we've been manifesting it for them. We have been manifesting it by watching the programs. Do you not understand that? That when you watch TV and you watch programs and shows and movies, you're actually using your energy to manifest the idea of that creator and whoever the power was behind that creator. Do you understand how manifestation works? You visualize it, you feel it, you think it. What happens in a movie? You're watching, you're hearing it, the sounds, you get scared, you get happy. You're actually creating a projection of that manifestation that you saw on the TV. It effectively, now it's gone 2D because you are a multidimensional being. Hello. Then it goes through you and turns into 3D because what you're doing is you're pushing it out. And it's a group spell. It's a group spell. It's a group casting without even us knowing. Think about it. What you're doing when you're watching movies and you're engaging in gossip and people talking shit or whatever. You're projecting. You're projecting. You're pushing it and you're casting it out. So why not take that and make your own movie? Why not? Why not do that? We have the ability to do that. We have the ability to not only conceive of things, but make it a reality, right? Conceive of things and make it a reality. You know, and you can see that I got tan because I've been like actually taking hella walks. But you know, you guys remember like last year I was really big up top. Now I'm big down bottom. I made that happen because I visualized what it is that I wanted to be. I wanted stronger legs so that I could be able to run and walk, kick stuff or whatever. If it comes down to it, here's something else. Are you staying active? Are you taking care of your body and your health? Or are you just in denial about what you see happening here? You do realize that our resources, they're dwindling. And I don't mean the long-term ones like fuel. I'm talking like food. There's been recalls on food. There's been activities that's affecting our air and our water. What do you think is going to happen next? They're setting it up. All these little things. I don't know what to tell you. If you don't feel like it's important to be in shape because you don't think you're gonna have to go hand in hand with somebody at some point, I don't know what to tell you because at some point I think the way things are going, I know that when I walk after a certain hour, we can't be on those streets. And I live in the mountains. You would think it's nice out here. No, you still have the zombies out there. I'm not gonna tell you what they are, what makes them a zombie, but there's usually something in the system that causes their brains to shut off and they're on automatic beast mode. Take care of your physical body. Go out for walks, drink a lot of water, eat the right foods. Eat the right foods here too. Your mental diet is the most important diet. I say this all the time. It doesn't really matter what you're doing because if you have a good mental diet, everything else will manifest in accordance. It's kind of like a ripple effect. It starts with you and then it goes outward, 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 outward. Right? That's how it works. Take care of yourself. It don't matter what anybody else says. Who cares if you got haters? I have a lot of haters and I don't you know why I used to worry about like why people don't like me and why they talk shit about me or whatever. I don't care. I could excuse my language, but I could give a fuck if somebody likes me or not. That's the last thing I'm worried about. What I'm worried about is do I like me? You know what I mean? Like, do I like me or am I like not feeling myself today? Because those are the days when shit is like it goes south. If you ever have one of those days where it's like it's bad, it's bad, it's bad, because it started with you. You wasn't feeling yourself that day. Why let somebody else have the hand in making you feel a certain way about yourself? Like, get out of here. Like, it's not gonna ever work for me. Where I think somebody else's opinion of me is the actual fact. Like, I don't look at myself through the eyes of somebody else. I look at myself through the eyes of myself, and I allow God to point out like you're going in the wrong direction here, and that's like hypersensitive to it because it's like it's just it may not be a word, but it's just like, come on, that don't do that. I can sense danger. That's what happens when you're one in one with the creator. It's you. You're not aware of what you're doing, what's going on, how much time you're spending on your phone, what you're looking at when you're on your phone, why you're not in shape. That's the thing. Like, don't come to me asking me like for advice on how to get in shape, and then you never take my advice. Like, I don't even do that anymore. I'm like, you know what? Everybody's body is different. You're gonna have to like find what works for you. I stop because the element that people don't want to accept is that they actually have to manifest it themselves. I can't manifest your dream body for you. Only you could do that. I manifested my dream body. And when I tell you, I don't even really need to work out that much to do it. Like, yeah, I go hiking. In the past couple of days, it's been like 4 miles a day. But as far as having a great physique, it does take a lot to do that. And you're probably not even eating enough if you're trying to like get to a certain size. But that problem's not going to go away by itself. It's not going to do that. You have to look and be like, this is not it. You got to change immediately. But a lot of people just say, oh, I didn't feel like doing this, I didn't feel like doing that. Everything is a process. Like you think that individual who got the banging body and all that got it how? We all had to do some kind of work to manifest it. We had to spell it out, like spell it out, write it down, write a plan. We live on a plane where you have to plan it. You have to plan it. It's not gonna happen on its own. You have to make it happen. You have to do what it takes to make it happen. Literally, you can make a placebo. You can make a placebo out of anything, right? Some people may not agree with it and say, well, you shouldn't have like, objects and things like that. Well, you know what? We have coffee to drink to make ourselves feel more awake. Some of us we have a headache, we take ibuprofen to make the headache go away. If I feel like I want to wear my magnetic bracelet, it helps me bring more energy and circulate it, and that's what I feel is going to be, and it's working, then that's what it is. Everything is psychological. Everything is psychological because we really don't need the coffee, do we? Hmm? Right? That's the knowledge right there, that you really don't need it. Right? It's you that makes it special. That's me that makes this special. It's me that makes this special. All of that. It's you. So whatever you have to do, if you have to get up in the morning and say to your water, "This is you are magic water. When I drink you, I will be so nourished. I will become the sexiest woman alive." I mean, whatever it is that you want to tell your water is gonna actually make that. It's gonna bring it into you, right? But you really gotta be into taking care of yourself, and that's what I mean by that. Like you actually, I treasure this water because it's gonna treasure me, right? I didn't have anywhere to go today, but I decided, well, this isn't really dressing up, but I decided I'm gonna wear my camo pants and go for a walk with my little archaeologist hat. Hmm? Life is too short. Life is too short to allow someone else to make you think that you can't do what you were put here to do. And that's the thing. We don't always know. It's not apparent. Like what's your purpose? What's your job here? Because you have a job to do, just like I have a job to do. But you don't need to do it in a day. Rome wasn't built in a day. That's saying, right? You don't have to do it in a day. It doesn't mean that you have to have a lot of progress. But if you have an inkling of something that you love to do, and you really sit in that love, you're like, man, I want to do this, right? Sometimes it's just it oscillates, right? Because I oscillate between my interests. It'll like oscillate between certain things, and that's my frequency, right? But I know in the broad scheme of things, I'm here to nurture the newly awakened. The newly awakened. There's something about the newly awakened that keeps reappearing for me. I'm like, well, what about? Because I know a lot. Well, like maybe how about people who already know about it? Newly awakened. A refresher course, maybe. If you've already been aware for a while and you're conscious, then allow my content to refresh you. I might offer you a different perspective. Dang. I really do feel like I'm starting to look more like mature with my gray hair, but I'm getting used to it. I'm not hiding from it anymore. And can I just shout out to people out there who are like you're a chosen one. Like you doing this on your own. I'm literally on a mountain, and y'all know the hoodie I have in my profile picture. And all of that was happenstance. I never like planned it this way. And one day I looked in the mirror on my way out, and I'm like, wait a minute, my hoodie says Yahweh. I got this going on. I wear this every day. I got like reddish hair. I'm on a mountain. Click, 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 click. All of the major mountainous events was God giving people a message. And that message gets clearer every day that I'm up here. I'm like, wait a minute. This is like so symbolic. Like this is a special story for me. Whether somebody else really agrees with it or thinks that I'm special or not is not my concern. I'm already at 10%. But I believe and I know that I'm a chosen one because I put in that work. I'm highly disciplined. As of this recording, right? highly disciplined. So disciplined that a lot of people can't relate to me. And I had to accept that because people don't always want to be around somebody who's like, I guess a goody two shoes or whatever you want to call it. But I'm not going to become less disciplined to please the masses. I'm not meant to be with a large group of people. I'm meant to lead myself to salvation. And I want my tribe to be with me. I know we're going to come together. It's happening already. I'm already meeting people in this realm here. So if you're interested, leave a comment. We can have a discourse anywhere. I don't go on Instagram. I don't know. There's something about Instagram that robs me. But I do have a new Telegram group. So what am I putting on in the thing? I'm putting a Dutch sense. I'm putting the NOAA. But at the top, I'm gonna put my Telegram group. It's a little research group for those of us who are trying to piece together all these different parts of the puzzle and what's going on with research and sources. Okay, you are going to be asked to show and prove your work. So if you come in there making a claim and you can't back it up, then it can't be substantiated. But if I want this because I want people who are serious about doing research and not people who are just going to talk all day. We could share memes and stuff, but this is work. Like, what's the information? Let me take what you have, let me build upon it, let me help you research. That's what I want. And if you're down, join the Telegram and let's do it. Like, this is free for me. I'm not trying to make any money off of this, at least of this recording. I might write a book in the future and sell that, but I'm saying this group research thing, let's help each other figure it out. Let me help you figure out what your subject of expertise is going to be. And you can help me figure it out. So, I'm finna take a walk, but my phone is dying, so I gotta let it charge. So here we go. But yeah, leave a comment if you have any questions. If you have questions that you want me to answer, as long as it's pertinent to this particular channel and the brand, consciousness, awareness, the plane that we live in. If you're on steady ground, absolutely hit me up. Like if you're on a level plane, absolutely hit me up. Okay. I'll talk to you guys soon.